Take a load off, grab a seat. Pull up a chair, prop up your feet. That's fine by me. Fine by me. Yeah. It's podcast time. All right, this is fine by me.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Mustache is coming in thick, boys.
We've got
like
another drop in from Tutley. Nick is a little bit sick under the weather this week, so we had him.
That was Josh. That's sick. Nick is fine.
Oh, Nick's fine. Yeah, sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, Josh is sick and Nick is here. So
I'll
be the designated fill-in host.
Yeah, he's our pitch hitter whenever we need him.
Right.
What y'all
going on, hitter, baby?
It's been quite the weekend for the news, but y'all do anything else before we get into all that?
What's been going on? I've just been listening to the new Eminem album.
Same.
Cripples,
yeah, that's all I've been doing.
Midgets are gay. I love his style. Nick, if we never put, we might have to do some beeping and some blurring. But I've got an Eminem style rap song that I put on the old podcast and yell it out the window. It is rough though, buddy.
It is rough.
Is it?
Yeah.
No,
Are there racial slurs in it? Like.
No.
Okay.
Now I talked about Mexicans one time, but it's kind of in a positive format, you know.
Well, as long as there's no racial slurs, I don't think. Let's get like at least 10 minutes into the pod, because
I've said worse on this podcast than is said in that song, I believe.
Okay, well, I think we'll be all right then. But
yeah.
But just so you know, I may have told you before, but YouTube scrubs the first like 10 minutes of everything that they post, and they don't really look at anything else unless they find something crazy in that first 10 minutes. So that's why you got to be careful in the first little bit, and then you can kind of go wild. You can't go as wild as Smith and Smith did that one time, but you can go pretty wild after that.
Yeah.
I mean, people do they're letting like softcore porn pretty much be on YouTube these days. So
I told you last time I was on here, I don't watch the news much, but to be honest with you, I have been glued to the news since probably Saturday when everything started going down. I feel like that's all my TV's been, and I can actually feel mentally how it's kind of been draining to me.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say my girlfriend mentioned that to me because I had a really bad mental I just was out of sorts yesterday. I just didn't feel good, and she was like, "It's probably because all you've done for the past 2 days is just consume Twitter."
Media.
Yeah.
Like just because you've been trying to stay on top of like what the hell is going on. Because I mean but to combat that, like if I have one bad day because I wanted to be on top of pretty much what could have been the JFK of our generation or whatever, like I feel like it might be worth it for me to have a little bit of a rough day. Is what it is.
It was a wild one though. If he wouldn't have turned his head in that last split second, he'd have been gone.
Dude, can you imagine if he would have gotten killed?
Yeah.
Like that
would have been.
I don't even know what would have. I can't even imagine what would have happened if he would have died.
I'd be recording this podcast with a vest and a helmet on right now. Just like live in the field, Wes. Holy hell, you wouldn't believe what's going on out here.
It might have been good for the pod, to be honest. We could have been out there in vests and helmets.
Yeah, it could have been our big break.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even get like what do you call drafted or anything. We just all have media passes. Like whenever reporters go over to like Iraq and stuff, they have the big vests on and it just says media on the front of it, and supposedly it's a handshake,
white flag,
like a war agreement that you won't kill reporters or whatever. Even though
I feel
Obama
like
did.
if you're in the
Yeah.
army, maybe you should just get you one of those and sneak up on people. Get you a media pass, just sneak up on
All right, now Travis is thinking with his head.
Yeah. Now we've awoken the beast. um.
Yeah, no, I was surprised. I don't remember. I was so Saturday night. I was actually at my girlfriend's house, and we were just. I don't even know. We were
Where was
with her
we?
daughter, so we were watching probably Bluey or something. And and somebody sent me a text. He's like, "I can't believe that I'm on top of this before you, but Trump just got shot at his election." And I was like, "Oh my God," or his rally. And I immediately pulled it up, and I was like, "Hey, we got to turn this Bluey shit off."
people. But I was driving down the road and you sent out that text message and I hadn't heard it yet. And I was like, "Is this for real?" And you're like, "Oh yeah, it's for real."
Yeah.
Well, I called my wife. She was at home. And I said, "Hey, someone just tried to shoot Trump." And apparently she was talking to her sister and she was like, "I'll look at it. I'm on the phone," and just hung up on me because she was like I was bothering her. And I hung up. I was like, by the time I get back home, I'm headed home right now. Her whole attitude to this will change. Like she just thought somebody had brought a gun. No, when I got home, she was just glued to the TV, like, "Oh my god!" It was
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I know. I felt bad. Like I was with. I mean, like we were there hanging out with her daughter and whatnot. And I was playing with her daughter a little bit, but like every chance I got, like I was on Twitter, like trying to see what the next thing, like what was popping off next, and like the story. Like I don't know if. Hold on, let me see if I can find the guy. But whenever it first happened, there was this like there was like this bigger guy that they said was the shooter, and then I don't know where this guy came from, and he ended up
yeah,
being not even related to the. It was the probably one of the first things I sent to you guys, to be honest.
I think
He
it
was just
was
like in a black hoodie or something. I've saved so much. I'm going through my bookmarks on Twitter right now, but
Yeah, that could have been you, Wes. You know, just some big dude in a black hoodie, and they're like tackling you and tasing you, and you tried to kill my brother.
well, he was kind of Latino or something, I think.
See, there we go, profiling again.
Well, I
I
mean,
wouldn't have been able to.
it's a race.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Oh,
have been
there
able to
was.
climb up on that building.
Yeah, I don't know
My
how
fault.
many. I don't know how long those people were like trying to warn the police, but I mean, it seems like it was multiple minutes
30
that they
minutes.
were like,
Yeah.
"There's somebody on the
Actually, it
roof
was
over here."
actually the official report is they knew about him for 26 minutes.
Dang, I could have got up on the roof in that amount of time.
Yeah, I don't know.
I could have got up there in
That's what's going on.
2.6.
That's what's going through everybody's mind right now is like, why did it take?
Yeah.
Like they knew he was there. And I will say this. So the Secret Service, they can't just shoot somebody because they see somebody with a rifle.
Right.
They just can't just be shooting people. But the protocol for that would be to just get him off the stage and then figure the
Yeah.
situation out and then get him back on stage. And none of that happened.
No.
Why? Like, what?
It just you don't. For me, I don't want to be like, "Oh, it's a big conspiracy." But when you start putting all that together, you're like, "Okay, it's the Secret Service. It's a government-led deal. He's opposing the sitting president. All this rhetoric's been going on. It sure looks like dirty work, but I don't necessarily want to believe that my government would do that. But
Oh,
I
I
sure
guess it's
do.
possible.
you're talking to the wrong guy. I know the government would do that shit.
Yeah.
But this was I know this is coming from a account called Clown World, but like if y'all are on Twitter, y'all know it's kind of a
Yeah,
pretty reputable source. But this happened at
I thought
It does
6:10.
look like you a little.
Shut
I
the
thought it
fuck
looked like
up.
big fun.
But this was the first thing that came out as Mark Violets. Like, but why did like everybody was reporting this guy in the first like
Yeah.
30 minutes or so of this all happening. Apparently, he uploaded a video on YouTube before the attack. So,
So the real question would be, since this wasn't the guy, where's this guy Mark Violet at, and what's he got planned? And everybody thought he did it.
yeah, for real. Like, was so I don't. I sent this to y'all earlier, but there was apparently another shooter that got killed in Milwaukee today at the Republican National Convention. Um, I don't know.
I haven't seen
I
any
haven't seen
reports on
anything
like Fox or
beyond
anything.
that yet to know like exactly what was going on there, but all I've seen is the videos, and you can't really see anything but a bunch of cops running towards anything. That's
Yeah.
pretty developing. That just happened within the last like hour and a half, 2 hours or so. So, but yeah,
But I tell you what, the first thing a lot of people said when you tell them, when I like broke the news out, I was at a fundraiser event when I found out, and the first thing a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, he's got it in the bag now," you know?
That's true.
Yeah,
oh, as soon as it happened, and I realized he was okay, I was like, if he doesn't win now, it's ultra fixed. Because if you
yeah,
If
remember when Reagan about got killed,
yeah,
like
only one blue state.
on his campaign run, it like the only blue states was like New Hampshire and
Minnesota.
Michigan or something like
It was
that.
Minnesota. No,
Minnesota,
West.
okay, yeah,
Oh, yeah, I think it was Minnesota and Connecticut on that chart. Those are
okay,
only two states he didn't win.
yeah. I mean, so if he doesn't win, like CNN, I saw earlier, CNN even posted something about like that they're projecting like a landslide victory for him, and obviously we all know CNN is left leaning.
Well,
Uh,
that picture of him with his fist in the air and blood running down his face and the
yeah,
flag flying behind him, that's worth at least 5 points.
dude, that'll be in
yeah,
history books forever. Like
yeah,
until we blow
Every
each other,
ad,
until we blow each other up, it'll be in history books forever.
yeah. Whoever took that picture, I mean, even the photographer is probably going to be remembered forever. And the picture that was taken with the bullet actually in the frame,
yeah, that's well
that's a
done.
$1 billion picture right there too.
Oh yeah, the one of it like passing. Hold on. There's a
Yeah, passing right behind his head.
now. What's the? I don't know. I just had like a live video pop across my Twitter. There's some kind of rally in Nashville right now. I don't know what it is though. Let me show
Probably
y'all.
the feds back at it.
Yeah, well, I don't. It doesn't look like the. Doesn't look. Well, no, never mind. This guy's got a swastika on his shirt.
Yeah, we seen reports yesterday of some guys on the overpass over 65 waving Nazi flags.
Whites against replacement is what this guy's shirt says. This guy also has a whites against replacement shirt, but there's this guy in the red basketball jersey back there, and it just has a swastika on it. Hold on.
Where do you think they get these guys?
There's like they got a black cop.
Yeah, that's what. Does that have the same Glasgow on that sign?
I wish the
Any
guy would come
Glasgow?
back forward that had the swastika. Okay, it's just so there's just a bunch of people counter protest. Oh, there you go. There's a
I see.
swastika
Yeah.
fella right there.
Good.
I don't
Nice.
know what's
I
going
would.
on with that. That's news to me. But I was going to show y'all
Yeah.
this. We were talking about the shooter.
Sorry.
So supposedly he carried an AR-15, a 12-foot ladder, 50 rounds, and then walked a mile to the Trump rally.
Huh.
And no one was like, "What are you doing with that gun and the ladder?"
Yeah, no one said anything to this guy. What do you mean? What are you doing up there? If I had a ladder and I was just walking around and put it on a random building, guarantee somebody would be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Yeah, what are you
Well,
doing?
the combination of the ladder and the gun
Yeah,
without a
yeah.
uniform is what
That
would
and
stop me.
he apparently got it there, and like I read this somewhere else. His car was a Hyundai Sonata. So how do you fit a 12-foot ladder in a Hyundai Sonata?
Well, if it's that one that they're showing, that thing like collapses in on itself.
That's not the
It's pretty
one.
small.
There's pictures of the ladder, and it is not that extend to climb
Okay.
thing. It does not look like that. It looks like your regular 12-foot ladder.
We get to see an inside Wes's uh, Twitter world here. What propaganda he gets fed every day.
Well, these are my bookmarks. These are things I knew that we were gonna. Whenever I knew we were switching to Zoom, I was like, okay, I need to go bookmark some stuff because this was just funny because this guy told her she looked like a orangutan's ball sack.
Oh, oh,
It was hard for me to even listen to. I was like, ooh, that's rough.
yeah.
But there,
I saw a post of like a geneticist breaking down this guy's like his skull structure
Yeah.
and like how far apart his eyes were and like some of the stuff that could have been wrong with him just based on his skull structure. And
I mean, when you look at it, you see that too.
yeah. Yeah, some of the concave, like if you look at the profile of his face, some of the concave stuff. So he wasn't a very masculine man. So on speaking on that, it brings us to our first advertiser of the day. Unlock your inner warrior with Iron Edge training. Are you ready to stop being mistaken for a beanbag chair and start living like a real man? Iron Edge training is here to transfer wimpy guys into confident, skilled, and downright manly men. From shooting guns to mastering the bow and arrow, we'll take you from zero to hero faster than anyone can say past the remote. There's manliness workshops, confidence boot camp, assertive training. Say goodbye to the days of being talked over by your cat. Okay, learn how to make eye contact without looking like you're plotting an escape route. Firearm proficiency. Get hands-on experience with firearms. Our trainers will teach any Democrat how to shoot with the precision of a Republican in a cat video. Expert instructors, transformational experience, blah-de-da-de-da-da, testimonials. Before Iron Edge, I couldn't even open a pickle jar. Now I'm a lean, mean pickle opening machine. That's Mark from Manchester. I never thought that I could handle a gun or a bow, but now I'm basically a modern day Legolas. Just don't ask me to climb any trees. That's Tom from Sapphire Springs Rainbow Retreats. Okay. Take the first step towards a new you. Visit ironedgetraining.com or call us at 1-800-IRON-EDGE. Because a real man doesn't ask for directions. They make their own path, preferably through the wilderness with a freshly sharpened axe.
So did I get this correct? This is aimed at Democrats?
Just mostly just smaller frame, fragile men that want to become a little manlier. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look
Ladder
later.
ladder carrying training courses, I noticed in their pamphlet.
Oh, I mean, learn how to carry a ladder with an AR-15.
Yeah.
50 rounds of ammunition, like 50 rounds is a lot of rounds.
Yeah. Yeah, I can carry 50 rounds in my pocket.
Yeah, I know. That's what they like. That's so that was something that was on like his purchase list that he did the day before was he went and bought 50 rounds of, and it didn't even say the caliber. It just said AR-15. I was like, well, that could be so many different calibers. That could have been a 22 for all we know.
It goes back. It goes back to Nancy Pelosi's debit card, and it's like, oh god.
And he bought a 5-foot ladder, and obviously the ladder that was involved in this was not a 5-foot ladder at Home Depot. Unless that building is a building for little people, and that whole building is only like 6 foot tall at best.
Yeah, what if it was a midget retirement home?
Well, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was a glass company.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was. I know it wasn't that.
Well, that seems like he had cased the joint if he went out and bought that stuff. I mean, I haven't seen those reports, but they knew the rally was coming, and those guys were all. I assumed that the Secret Service was out looking and surveying all that stuff for weeks before that.
there's no way that this wasn't set up, man. There's just no way.
It doesn't feel like it. I mean, for sure.
There's no
And
way.
the more information you get, the more it sounds bad. But
How would the
then you,
Secret Service let somebody be on a rooftop for 26 minutes with an AR-15 within 130 yards of a former president that's speaking?
Yeah.
my favorite is that they said there wasn't anybody on there because it was a sloped roof. But the guy who shot him above Trump was on
Was
a
on a
very
more sloped
steep
roof.
roof. Yeah, a very
Yeah.
steep roof.
Yeah.
So
This Cheadle
then
lady, she says she's not going to step down because of this. And I'm like, how do you not step down? This was the biggest misstep the lead of the Secret Service could ever make. And then you also
Yeah.
had the women that were like supposedly protecting him doing nothing, like
Yeah.
around him. Like the one, like all the dudes were like surrounded him to like create this barrier, which was also stupid. They should have just got him off stage instead of just surrounded. Like, what are y'all just prepared to die? Why not just get him off stage so nobody can be shot at anymore?
Yeah.
So I don't
they
know.
did get the call that the shooter was down. So I guess they felt like they were a little safe. But in that moment, you don't know if there's three or
Multiple
four
shooters.
more people there. Yeah.
I know, and there's been people like more interviews that have came out from the rally, and there's been people that said that they were. I'll share this real quick because I thought it was funny, but da, 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 da. But there's people. So Trump's here. The guy that passed away was in these things, and this is where the shooter was. But there were people at the rally that said that they saw somebody on the water tower as well as on the building. So there's already people saying that there were multiple shooters and
Oh,
one of the ladies said that they saw one of the counter snipers take out the person on the water tower. Like while all those shots were being rang out, one of those shots were supposedly a counter sniper to whoever was on the water tower.
so this will be our grassy knoll.
Yeah, this is
In
our JFK
20 years,
grassy knoll situation. And like I
in
said,
20
this
years,
this
we'll be like the dude on the water tower.
yeah. So this is I mean obviously who knows what's going on with any of this. Surely somebody there was like two or three people that mentioned the water tower dude, so who knows if they were seeing stuff or they're just trying to be sensational or whatever, but or sensationalist. But I mean, it is this Pac-Man perimeter situation. Like they had people like almost like on this building. They had people like in these buildings right here. They even had people like over on this building, but they didn't have people in this fucking complex over here. Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So and now they're saying that there was people over there, but they were in the building.
that,
What? Okay. So it still doesn't make any
well,
sense on why nobody saw this dude on the roof when there's videos of people at the rally taking video of him crawling on the roof before it
yeah,
happens.
and you got pictures of it up there on the roof alive, and they had pictures of him dead up there too, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, there was obviously people who had video of him.
It just none of it makes any sense. I wonder what Trump thinks about all this.
I want to know what that conversation with his wife and kids that night like, because after it happens, he's pumping his fist and yelling "fight" or whatever, and his head's like, "We got to move on." But after the drilling comes down, he's still a man, and a bullet whizzed by his ear because of what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
And let you know, I can only think talking to my wife, and my kids. I don't know if I can move forward. I just couldn't. I mean, it's a crazy situation.
Yeah. He's also 80.
Right. But still, that doesn't mean he doesn't want to live tomorrow.
That's
Yeah.
true. And I don't know if it's his um like his need to be important or whatever it is in him or need to I don't know. Like there's people that are like that post the things about like this dude's like 80 and a millionaire or whatever. He should just be on a yacht somewhere, like
Oh, that was Conor McGregor.
chilling out. Like, why is he not just doing that?
Yeah.
Instead, he's getting shot at, probably by the CIA on a stage. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But if I was 80 years old, fat chance you see me in the media if I'm a
For
millionaire.
sure. For sure. Well, yeah, if I had Donald Trump money, you wouldn't know who I was. You know?
Yeah. I don't know if I could stay away from it. I feel like I would crave it a little bit too much too. That was always one of my lottery, like the plans of the lottery was to go grab a film crew and like film from me picking up the check until they were just done filming me, until everybody was just bored. However long that took,
Well,
20 years,
that'd be a
whatever.
while with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's liable to be until I finally just
Like
fried myself enough. Yeah.
like Kanye West ordered that documentary guy to follow him from the very beginning that he started his career. And then,
Yeah.
like 2 years ago, they finally put it all together on Netflix.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I don't know if I've seen that or not. I know that
called-
I think that guy was the one who filmed most of his Through the Wire video, right?
Yeah, so we'll take a little left turn here. He hired a guy to document like his first album, and that dude just stayed on. And then like halfway through his career, he kind of backed off. And then when he started like getting really heavy into politics, when he was in the White House with Trump and everything, they got show back up and they recorded a whole bunch of stuff, and it's all in documentary on Netflix, and it's actually pretty good. It's like 6 parts.
I will say I'll have to look into that because I don't know. I definitely haven't ever seen that.
Yeah, it's
Well,
called Jesus.
I hate that Josh isn't here for this, but we have a mole in the Tommy Knockers.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
Mole.
So of course I have filter issues and problem controlling what comes out of my mouth.
Not you.
And I'm really excited about me and Melissa's future. Well, I hadn't broke the word to my ex yet.
Oh,
But
gosh.
one of the Tommy Knockers took it upon themselves to tell her. And so I had to deal with that last week. That was a mess. An absolute mess. Yeah.
You got a mole, huh?
We've got a moly.
I wonder who that would be. You got any guesses?
No, I don't have any guesses. I would love to see, Wes, if we could get maybe a list of, of the listeners. If Spotify could help us out some way. I'm just so intrigued.
Well, I can promise you, it wasn't this guy.
What was last week the Founding Fathers episode?
No, I don't think so. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
That was 2 weeks ago.
I think it was the Rocks episode.
All right. I don't know.
On the Rocks.
I don't know if that'll tell me names or not. I know it tells me like where
The demographic.
well the demographic and like where stuff comes from, but I don't think it tells me. Man, the Founding Fathers episode did not do well.
Oh, that was a fun one. That was a really fun one. People missed out on that one.
I think y'all were shadow banned on that deal.
Yeah, that was a good one too. I can't believe that one didn't have more listeners. I mean, I'm just looking at Buzzsprout. I don't know what the YouTube one looks like, but
YouTube doesn't want the world to know that the Founding Fathers were gay. What's up with that? I thought they were all inclusive.
no, this was Buzzsprout. This is on
Okay.
the audio version. I don't know. Like on the Rocks did well for the compared to the rest of them, but for some reason the Founding Father ones took a fucking dive.
Well, I've sent a few people y'all's way to listen to the podcast for sure.
Man, that's wild. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way. I don't think there's any way to. Oh wait, hold on. I don't know. Hold on. Let me show y'all this real quick. This is actually pretty funny. I've never seen this screen before, but it's fan mail apparently.
All right.
Somebody in Connecticut or Kentucky. Your podcast cured my erectile dysfunction, and I no longer scream at the elderly. Thanks.
It's got the last four of their phone number.
And then somebody said
someone
fags.
said,
Oh, that's me. That's my phone number.
Oh.
is Buzzsprouts? You can do that on Buzzsprouts?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think there's a number you can like text into and it sends it to that. I've never looked at that until just now, funny enough, but
Well, we'll figure that out, won't we?
yeah, I'll have to figure it out. We're gonna find this
Oh.
moly.
Yeah. Just a little bit of, just a little bit of nervousness and a little bit of a guilt trip, that would suffice with me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be fine with that.
It's
Just coming forward. Maybe we'll give you a shirt. Maybe we'll block you. Who knows?
Yeah. Maybe we'll give you a shirt with Wes's balls printed on it.
no. I think y'all should have them on and interrogate them.
Why would you do this?
That would take a lot of bravery, for sure.
What if it's her new man that actually really likes us, that listens?
That would be a strange turn of events. We're liable to get a
It would be.
Pulitzer,
It would be.
some kind of journalism prize out of this. Yeah.
He's actually
I mean,
a big fan, and he was just like, "Babe, I gotta tell you, your man's about to get married again."
Yeah.
And she's like,
What
"How
if
do you
he's-
know that?" I was like, "I listen to their podcast every week."
Yeah.
We'll see if he approaches me at soccer practice and says, "Hey, I've seen you on the podcast." We'll know.
Yeah. What if it's Johnny Longsleeves in disguise?
Johnny.
That was my first person I thought of when you said there was a mole. I thought it had to be Johnny Longsleeves.
Just because
Wow.
that's the only other name of any
That's
other
the only
Tommy
other
Knocker
person
you
I
know.
know.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the only other Tommy Knocker we know.
Well, no, we got Ethan
Might
Ross
be Dave.
too.
The shaman.
It might
The
be David
shaman
Graham.
Ethan.
Yeah. Oh, Ethan Ross too. I still got to send them their shirts. I've like spent all last week being sick or whatever, and I've been just lazy this week to be honest. But I've got their addresses, and I'll send them out eventually.
Nick, it was probably David Graham.
Yeah.
If you need me
David.
to say something.
Come on, David. Golly.
Yeah. He was just looking for a little bit of extra juice that day. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna start some shit.
Yeah.
I need a little excitement in my life.
Wes, why don't you tell us more about this foot poisoning you had? Maybe go into extreme detail.
Of
Let us
what?
know what happened. Of this food poisoning you had last week.
Man, I don't know what it was. It was either Taco Bell, and it was the best Taco Bell I've ever had in my life, or a day or two prior to that, I went to like this 4th of July. It was the 3rd of July though, and me and Haley went and watched fireworks. And I did have some pretty suspect barbecue there. I have,
It may have
and
been a combination.
well, I have heard that it does take like 48 hours or so before like food poisoning really hits you. That's a little bit more than 48 hours, but the only two suspect things I really had in that time period was either that barbecue from that food truck, which was trash. I don't know what it was called, but it was garbage. And then the Taco Bell. The barbecue was trash. The Taco Bell was fucking amazing. So I'm really leaning towards it wasn't Taco Bell and it was actually this barbecue truck.
Well, corporate's gonna love to hear that.
Yeah, they
Because we-
will. I was gonna say it's a lot easier to take on a barbecue truck than Taco Bell. Yeah.
Yeah, than a Fortune 500 fast food chain. Yeah.
Have y'all seen? Have you? Hold on. This is the last thing I'm going to do on the assassination attempt. But I think this is a cool video that somebody put together. This shows like how close he was to getting bopped.
Whew.
How close
How many
is that?
bullets?
Holy
bullets?
shit, boys!
How many bullets are they saying?
I think he fired 6 or 7 total.
The one video showed like the tractor in the background, and it hit the hydraulic hose on the tractor, and you could
Yeah.
see the hydraulic fluid spraying out. That's crazy too.
Mm-hmm. I know. I was wondering. I was like, "What the hell happened there?" And then I realized I was like, "Oh, it's probably hydraulic fluid." Yeah. Did y'all see that Jack Black and all that stuff with
Yeah, I can't believe they would. I can't believe those anybody in a public forum at that point would say something like that. And I know there's been people come out and say it, but man, at that moment, the whole country's watching. Even you got Democrats and Republicans alike calling it a tragedy, and you're going to get on stage as a personality immediately and be like, next time they should do better, or they
yeah,
shouldn't
and
have missed, or
it truthfully wasn't even Jack Black. It was his
yeah,
other guy, Kyle Gass, that did it.
oh
But
man,
like, I mean, I think he did the right thing and immediately. I think it probably was a good thing for him. He immediately canceled the rest of the tour or whatever. But wow, what a loss of money you had just because
yeah,
of that statement. Like it's
you
so
know,
stupid.
And people were
and
just holding on to Kyle Gass just because they knew how much Jack Black loved him anyway. So Kyle Gass has been on
yeah,
a thin line for 20 fucking years just because he's Jack Black's friend.
Yeah, yeah. I will say that's really the only reason that he's
He's
even
famous.
around is just because of fucking whatever the Tenacious D.
Yeah.
you get
But
6 weeks
Jack Black
away
did
and
say
he can do
something.
that.
Jack Black did say something 2 or 3 weeks ago, basically calling, from what I remember, calling something along the lines of harm to President Trump. And I saw some backlash like weeks ago
Oh,
before this
really?
happened about Jack Black starting to lose a lot of, you know, right leaning fans. Anyway,
Yeah, and I think that's really everybody in Hollywood. Like everybody in Hollywood leans left for whatever reason. Um,
I wonder why that is. It's crazy.
I don't
just because
understand.
they're overlords, want to try to control what comes out of their mouth, and if they want to keep getting work, they have to obey.
I know, and the one of the big ones that I hate is that Mark Hamill, because I'm a big
Yeah,
Star Wars guy, and I hate that he's so left. Like I don't, and like I try to toe the line and stay on the fence pretty much on most of it because I try to make my decision based on the situation or like the policy at hand. I don't really try to say like I would never say I'm just voting for this because of red. I'm voting for this because of blue. Like I would never be somebody that just hits the conservative or the Republican button
right.
and just goes down the line. Same with I wouldn't do it with the blue button and go down the line or whatever. Like whenever you go to the voting booth, if you've never voted,
Mm-hmm.
that's an option that you can do. So I would never do that, but like he's just so far left that it's crazy. Like it every time I see him because I follow him on Twitter and I'm like every time I'm like, why do I follow this guy? It just upsets me every fucking time. And
Yeah.
he
Yeah, at
and
some point you got to separate the artwork from the person, right?
yeah,
Um,
and I just looked him up on Twitter right now, and so a lot of left-leaning people have been sharing this picture of Trump at the RNC, and he's got his eyes closed, but it's because he's praying. Like there's a moment of silence / prayer
Yeah.
happening, and they're all saying that he fell asleep. Like,
Even if he did fall asleep, the man got shot 2 days ago. He may not be able to go to bed at night. He just got tired. I
yeah,
don't know if I could lay down and go to sleep. You know?
it's just stupid, just low hanging fruit, just them. I mean, trying to push some crazy narrative. It's just stupid.
yeah, a lot of left news media outlets have been like reporting it as Trump falls at rally, like
Yeah, that
not
was that.
thinking, yeah,
That was
And
right
like,
off the bat that they said that. I think I even
yeah,
put that on the pod
yeah,
Facebook page or whatever, that and it wasn't even like the front story. It was like a side story on CNN that he fell down at the rally. And it was like, I mean, it was like 45 minutes after
now,
the shooting happened. And
they were using creative vocabulary like that you might confuse with other definitions. So it's like they were still covering it, but you could interpret it in multiple different ways. There were a bunch of different articles like that, not just CNN or whatever, Wall Street Journal. But yeah,
just so
just
It
stupid.
trying not
changed
to give
pretty
him any
quickly,
credit.
though.
Yeah,
I mean, they definitely
but
wanted to hide it for a minute, but then by the time the world got a hold of it, they were like, "All right, we have to go with assassination attempt. We have to go with it. We have to use these words and say this."
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Go ahead.
before we go though, I did just get this email from corporate. Fight back with Smith and Smith Law Firm. Did a fast food truck leave you hugging the toilet instead of enjoying your day? Don't let that greasy grub get the best of you. Smith and Smith Law Firm is here to turn your stomach ache into a legal victory. We specialize in filing class action lawsuits against fast food trucks that think food safety is optional. Our attorneys have battled countless food poisoning cases and know how to bring fast food offenders to justice. We turn your individual pain into a powerful group claim, giving you and fellow victims a stronger voice. We'll evaluate your case without you spending a dime. We won't rest until we get you the compensation you deserve for your butt suffering. We've secured millions for our clients who suffered from negligent food truck vendors.
These motherfuckers.
Now, our lawsuits don't just get you compensation, they help improve food safety standards for everybody. So, don't let a bad meal ruin your life. Join the fight against unsafe food trucks. Visit smithandsmithlaw.com. We really should see if that is available to purchase.
Smith
or call us at smithandsmithlaw.com. Turning your food poisoning into payback, one lawsuit at a time.
All right, before we get off here, we have to cover the fact that Joe Biden almost said "Make America Great Again" in his talk after the shooting, and called for what sounded like an MMA fight between him and Trump.
Yeah, I think we still got a good 15 minutes or so. I'm gonna get something off. So that this isn't just all about the smithandsmithlaw.com. It looks like it is. Yeah, there's definitely already Smith and Smith Law.
Do you think it would? Do you think we could spam them?
I think that they're going to end up suing us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Eventually,
if you want to draw their attention, that would be a good
idea. They're gonna fucking hate my ass. They are gonna hate my ass.
Yeah. We're gonna be like, hey, we're not even an LLC yet. This was all Nick. He did all of this.
Jesus Christ.
You'll call Sam and he'll be like, I cannot help you. You did this on your own.
I think we're beyond. I think we're beyond guilty by association. You know, I think it's just guilty because you're fucking guilty now, son.
Nick, you can't prove that I gave you ideas for any of that. None of those ideas were mine. You can't prove it.
Oh.
Hey, hold on. We will.
Can you pull them up here? Can you pull them up? Can we see?
Pull what up? What we doing?
What?
If
you put this on, you want to pull it up on live so you can.
What do you want me to pull up?
smithandsmithlaw.com.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yes.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Oh, it's a great
phone numbers are right there. Please edit out their phone number.
Yeah, they're an injury lawyer. So
great. Yeah, they ain't worried about us.
They're good people.
In Texas.
In Texas too. Well, okay.
Call for a consultation.
I'm
taking pink.
I
love these guys. They're keeping America right there in the cornbread basket. You know what I mean?
Tut brought this up, so if you haven't seen it,
America to recommit. Make America so make America. What think about it. What's made America so special? America to
Don't. He said,
I
"Don't
laughed.
use the word great. Do not use the word great right here."
think about it.
I laughed out loud watching it.
Just think about it. Back in my day in Scranton,
It clearly frustrated him too. After that, he messed everything up. After that, that's when he started saying we got to go to the battle box and decide stuff. Like he made that, and in his head he was like, "Oh crap, I screwed up," and then it just snowballed.
crazy.
Hey, I do have proof though that ChatGPT made up that Smith and Smith law name. So maybe we can run with that.
Yeah, that'll be all right. Say,
Yeah.
it's pretty wild.
Right.
This doesn't even make any sense. Like they're saying this picture must be flipped because the shot came from the right. So I'm bet so
If he turns 90 degrees to his left, then that
no, it's his
is
right ear. This picture doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah,
This
that's
picture for sure doesn't make sense because if they're saying this is the rooftop over here, there's
he's
no
got to turn he's got to turn his body 90 degrees left for that to make sense.
yeah, this
I
is
don't even know if this is from the same thing.
I
Like
don't know. I
this
was
feels
gonna
like
say
somebody.
I don't think there was even a building like that like close. Hold on, I can figure this out. I am gonna save. I'm gonna save some stuff. Maybe next week, hopefully we can get together and I really want Josh to tell his poop story again. See, there's not even a building over here. There's not even
Yeah,
that's not I don't that's got to be a different rodeo that they're at in that
yeah.
picture. Yeah, I'm
It
sorry.
it kind of feels like it.
That was misleading information. I wasn't even trying to share that. That was just on the top of my Twitter feed.
Whenever you're trying to get shit out, like you're trying to post 2 or 3 articles a day, though, it would be tough to check all those sources on all those pictures that you use.
But but isn't that the problem though? They shouldn't be trying to do 2 or 3 articles a day. They should be doing
Yeah,
one
for
good
sure.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like 25% making an excuse for them, but I mean, yeah, it's the whole industry is just overwhelmed with so many journalists that they have to put out as many as possible in order to just keep up with the damn industry.
Could be. I mean, that may be why CNN immediately put out the whole he fell down thing. Like they saw it happen. They're like, oh, he fell down. Uh-oh, he fell down just like our guy fell down.
Right.
Yeah.
So the
But
knee
yeah,
jerk.
and that's kind of what I feel like they did. Right? They jumped to it trying to make a mockery of it because they didn't know he'd shot at
Yeah.
that point. And
Wow.
I think it's going to get more wild. I mean, it's only July, man. We got to go to November.
Yeah, and I think
You
I
know,
don't
some
know if I
stuff.
mentioned it in this episode or not, but I shared that thing earlier about apparently there was another shooter that got killed outside of the Republican National Convention today. I haven't been able to corroborate that story or like confirm it's real, but there's several videos of it like out in Milwaukee. Like you can see it's the Milwaukee police. So it's obviously in Milwaukee. So I don't know. I don't know if that's real or not. I don't know if y'all saw this either, but apparently the Trump shooter also had a like bomb rigged in his car or something.
Yeah, they said he had some explosive devices inside of his car.
He had a
Bottle
really
rockets.
explosive device, and he had some kind of transmitter on him that would have blown it up, supposedly. So they're saying that if all the people at the rally, if they hadn't saw him, and then there was a cop that they were like, "Hey, there's this guy on this roof," and like a local cop went up there, and the guy pointed his rifle at him, and the cop came down, and then like immediately started shooting. So there's like some speculation if that wouldn't have taken place, like so he took the shots like kind of quick.
In a rush.
Which yeah, he took them in a rush, so he didn't like hone in. But to be honest, as close as that first shot was, I think he had plenty of time. Like if T wouldn't have moved his head like everybody said, like he wouldn't have made it out of that. So
Imagine what world we live in today if he hadn't.
I don't even
Right.
want to imagine that, man.
I
Like I
mean,
said, I don't lean one way or the other, but Jesus Christ, man, it would be. And you think if maybe leave on this note, but think if like somebody had tried to take out Biden and it didn't work out, do you think there would have been um,
right?
riots again?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Because the stuff that we're looking at, and people are talking about how it's the CIA or there's a conspiracy behind this shooting, they would be doing the same thing, but they would be claiming it was the far right that did it, right?
Yeah,
And I think they would be in the middle. I mean, we've seen it happen. I don't know what group would be doing it, but I mean, I think there would definitely at least be protests. I don't know.
Oh, there would be a new charity organization started that just stole everybody's money. You
yeah.
know.
I know, and people have been hanging on. I haven't mentioned this, I guess, yet, but people have been hanging on that he was a registered Republican, but he also donated $15 or something to a super PAC. So like, but that's also a state that I think you call them open primaries there, to where you can
Yes.
uh register Republican, so you can try to vote for who you don't want specifically
Yeah.
to try to sway the vote. So it doesn't really mean anything what he was registered as.
No, it doesn't.
Because I think Kentucky's the
Yeah,
same way. I think Kentucky's open
it
primary
is.
as well. Yeah.
It is.
I
And
don't know about
that's the
Tennessee.
thing.
I'm registered independent, so I can't do anything. All I can do is vote on the main thing. But that's how I want to keep it, really, for me. Like I'm not going to go through all the trouble to try to sway a vote that I feel like is probably already fixed anyways.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I gotta get off here.
All right. Close it out for me, Nikki. Love y'all.
All right, Tutley, thank you so much for joining us, brother.
Yeah, I
Hey, Nick,
appreciate the last minute.
this is going to come out on Thursday. And
Oh, we get to listen to it on the
shout-
way to the mountains.
Yeah. I just
Me
want
and
to give a
Tutley
shout
are
out
going to the
my,
mountains this weekend.
I want to give a shout out to my oldest son. He will be turning 17 on the day this comes out. So happy birthday, Kingston.
Happy birthday,
Little
kid.
Cutley. Little Cutley. Kingston Utley. Cutley. Little Cutley. Dang, he sounds like a yummy little dish.
God. All right, we're getting out of here. See you guys later. Love y'all.
This has been fine by me.